Welcome back, little monsters! It's time for another deep dish with Princeton Vice. That's me. Today we're gonna make Dalgona Korean Honeycomb toffee. And we're also gonna dive deep a little bit into some of the serious themes about this movie. What is Dalgona? Well, if you're a fan of Squid Games, you've probably seen it before. It's a Korean candy that's stamped flat, often with a cookie cutter shape in the middle. These are often handmade in Korean stationery shops, which sell a mix of candy, small toys, and cute school supplies for kids. The shop owners will often challenge kids to cut out the design without cracking the design in the middle. If they succeed, they get rewarded with an extra treat, and we're gonna make some together. But first, our ingredients. To make dalgona, you're gonna need a stainless steel soup ladle, or fail that, the smallest saucepan that you have. You're gonna want something that's gonna be non-stick, so stainless steel or Teflon. I recommend also a silicone spatula, small, and a chopstick or skewer. I personally find both really handy. Later on, you're gonna want something to press it with. Now, they do actually make fancy presses. I recommend just a heavy pot with a clean stainless steel bottom works just fine. And you're gonna want a baking sheet, either non-stick or treated with parchment paper. And cookie cutters, which is more of a design element. We also recommend a large pot of boiling water, big enough to fit your cooking vessel in. You'll see what for later. Ingredients: 3 tablespoons of sugar, 2 pinches of baking soda. That's it. And we got some special ones with some extra ingredients later. But first, let's have a little chat with some of our friends.
All right, so here we're going to be a deep dive, and we've got 2 guests with us today. Please introduce yourselves.
Oh, I'll go first. I am Sherry from the podcast Keeping It Creepy with Cherry and Kat.
Thanks for coming back.
No problem. I love being here.
Joining me for the first time outside of our live stream game streams is my sister DeMonica.
Hiya, besties.
And so we're going to talk today about Wasp Woman. And normally when I do these deep dives, I normally do it as a deep dive into like random facts and trivia and where have you seen this actor before. But DeMonica suggested that it might be good to dive into some of the themes. Considering some of it is a lot about Wasp Woman being from a female's perspective, that is not something I'm particularly good at advising about. So I thought I'd get some experts. One of the first things that I noticed is that they did a very good job to me of making the characters very interesting and sympathetic, which is one, kind of surprising for the age, and secondly, surprising for Roger Corman, who is notably not a feminist. He has many times been described working with other people's films as producers going, nope, needs more half-naked women. So, well, good on him.
Let's get Hazel Court again.
Which one's Hazel Court? I'm sorry, I can't remember.
The not Barbara Steele.
Oh, yeah, there you go. I was like, well,
Jerry gets it.
Perhaps he wasn't, maybe got a female perspective for the writer. And I looked up the writer just this afternoon, and it's Leo Gordon. I'm going to show a picture for the post. Who is a 6'3" former ex-con turned actor in westerns, and this guy often played like the villains and the bad guys. Described by John Wayne and Clint Eastwood as the scariest man they've ever met.
I mean, he writes a good story, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe still waters, man.
Seriously. I won't do too much into him, but he seems like a very Danny Trejo figure, where he went into jail and robbing a place, getting shot in the stomach, and went, all right, I'm going to read every book in the library and take acting classes. So I'm like,
yeah. Now he's a feminist. Miss Vanjie. Okay, so first off, I just want to get something out of the way. We're talking about women as defined in people who identify as women. But when we're looking at the lens of history, we have to acknowledge that the plight of the trans women in depth is not widely known or discussed, nor was it considered in the point of view of women of the time period at the time. So, given the time period and social context, we could get into the oppression of trans people, but it's not relevant to what this is because it's about enforcing gender roles.
Right. Mm-hmm. Again, I've said this before off cast. I go into movies with nothing. I have a title, I have a genre, and that's it. I don't look up trailers. I don't look up the movie poster. All I do is I need to know enough to make sure I'm picking like the right version if it happens to be something that has the same thing. Movies that have the same title, but that's it.
Oh yeah,
And so,
you don't want to watch the wrong blob.
Yeah, exactly. So I have enough to make sure I'm picking the right version. That is all. I was not expecting her to be like a boss. Because of the time period, I feel like I am surprised she was the boss in the best way possible, but also she felt like an actual woman. I am very surprised that this was written by a man. Yeah.
Yeah, like, I'm totally shocked. This is like finding out that Moonstruck was not written by an Italian.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Irishman. I mean, they still got the Catholic guilt going on, but like, still. But, well, yeah, and it was really interesting to see this take the position of a woman in power who had everything and then gambled because she felt she was being pressured into staying beautiful while, you know, and no, they didn't pressure her directly. It was, some of it was her own, the pressure she was creating for herself at the time, but you can't deny there were lots of microaggressions from the men on the panel at the same time.
Oh, absolutely. 100%.
Like, if you're a girl, you want to know, did you hire all these men, lady? Like,
right.
Did you know what you were getting into?
I feel like she had to. I didn't even consider that. She probably hired them all. That makes it worse. Yeah.
Yeah, it does make it worse.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, seeing a boss woman in like, so for context historically, this takes place in post-war America, and women had just been in the workforce during the war, taken over for the boys, and then the boys got home, and then we got this big public push towards conformity and enforced gender roles in the American household. Women have to be feminine, they have to stay in the kitchen, and, you know, take care of the babies, and dad had to support the family on a salary, which he could do at the time. But, you know, yeah. Well, if he was of a certain color and the right age demographic and wasn't from any weird countries.
Yeah.
But, you know, so, like, this was a plight women knew at the time. The women had more opportunities than ever to be financially supportive. Like, also keep in mind, women were, you know, pushed back into the household as the wife and caregiver because she still didn't have the financial freedom that men had at the time. Very few women were allowed to have charge accounts or use credit for anything. They were not allowed to make certain purchases without consulting a husband or father at the time. So a girl boss is really at the top of her game. Yeah.
It wasn't even until the late 70s that a woman could even have like a mortgage on her own. So
yeah, or a credit card.
Yeah, this was very progressive.
So there's also part of the pressure that if she was able to build this all up one time, that she probably would not get a chance to do it again.
Exactly.
When she gets kicked to the curb, she's got nothing to build on and probably no equity or line of credit to go for, unless she'd taken precautions beforehand.
Yeah.
Like, this is why jewelry was a traditional gift for women for centuries. It was because when it was one of the few things worth money we were allowed to have.
Like getting a dowry, you know, that's the insurance for if the husband kicks you out or you have to run away.
Exactly. And once again, you look at any of the ad copy, you looked at the TV shows at the time, women were being reduced to basically male fantasies, or moms or maids. That was kind of what was left to us.
Any particular pressures on when it comes to aging in particular?
Don't get me started.
Pressures of aging. I thought it was interesting for me how the men were clearly calling out the fact that she was older, like comparing her to, well, you know, this woman used to be the face of the company and now it's you, and notice how sales have gone down. But at the same time, you could tell they were trying not to be too harsh because she is their boss. Like, there was a little bit of we're gonna say exactly what we're thinking, but also we recognize that you could fire us at any moment. And it was just, It was very awkward.
Until we get enough people on our side.
Yeah.
Yes.
At least her face, it felt to some degree almost tender. Like, you're the favorite mascot, and we're gonna have to put you out to pasture. But it was
Yeah,
kind
it
of
was
sad and reluctant.
no, that wasn't
Yeah.
respectful. That was infantilizing.
Yeah.
That's the other thing that happens to women a lot in the workforce is they treat us like children. Like you even hear in these old movies, they always refer to the women working in the workplace as the girls.
The girls, yeah.
Which I will say, side note, I did enjoy the prattling New York, random receptionist filling in 3 minutes of dead air here and there with random, so I
Yes,
said to
give that
Mabel, I
woman
said
an
Mabel. It's just like Roger Corman will have a few of those. We're just like, we need to stretch it out. Let's just have some useless banter between office women and the random guy delivering a mattress in, because why not?
Yeah,
Yep. It's like the Emperor's New Groove. Like, well, we didn't order a trampoline? Well, why didn't you tell me before I set it up?
It has some of that same energy.
Just to kill some air here, But the ageism thing is still a problem we see today, where women basically have to go into women of a certain age have to go into hiding in Hollywood until they become a certain age, and then they come back as the grandmas for everything. But
yes.
Yeah, but even more so because this is about beauty products and advertising, and beauty products and advertising prey on ageism to push their products. Like that's the whole thing about the beauty industries is they create problems to make us feel bad about ourselves, and then they sell us the solution at a huge markup.
Yes, and then in 3 months that solution is no longer the solution. You're using the wrong thing. Buy this instead.
Yeah,
or buy these supplemental things for our full package. You look at the stuff that women are supposed to have right now. We're supposed to my sink only holds so many bottles, people.
I know. I'm not getting up an hour
best?
earlier just for my skincare routine.
So
you mentioned, how does it? Let's shift to what you talk about, the other type of aging. How's it age? How's that held up?
I think the movie held up really well. I was entertained. I did not pick up my phone once, which says a lot for the current times, because it's so easy to be to start scrolling. And I appreciate, as someone who loves practical effects, I appreciate that they did not attempt a transformation scene, that instead of watching her transform, you know what I mean? Because sometimes you get some really great ones, like The Howling is a movie, like a werewolf movie. Yeah. Well, yeah, like a Wolfman, where you get the transformation scene and it had held up after all of this time. But sometimes they don't work. And I appreciate when they can tell the difference and are just like, you know what? We're not even going to try it. We're just going to show someone freaking out because she's transforming off screen, and then we'll just turn the camera and she's already there.
And we're going to spin around.
Yeah, exactly. I think people who direct color out of space could take a page from that, by the way. Sometimes it's scary when you don't show things.
Yeah, the makeup is not great. It really,
plus the
really
guinea pig and the rat thing.
The guinea pig, I lampooned that in our show. That is definitely not aged. Pacing is actually pretty decent. There's definitely places where it's just like, you can tell they're padding the script, obviously.
Yeah.
But they're trying to do it in dynamic ways, like have them run up here, have them run down here. Just trying to keep it interesting as humanly possible.
Oh, and Bumpy's ad-libbing in the orchard there, just he was just saying whatever.
That was actually added in post. I found out. That
my
was like
friends, my loves.
That was the Bumpy at the beginning sequence was like added on like a year later, just to make it so it like would reach past 60 minutes. We're running close in a time, so let's shift topics slightly. What are some modern day horror films do you think have very much the very same veins? For people who are interested in studying this as an academic topic, or just found it interesting in modern things.
We had talked about how this is a good for her, because essentially she gets it, they insult her looks, and then she starts taking this concoction so that she can look younger, and then she takes it out on those who caused this problem. I mean, kind of herself, but also, the one who made her feel that way. I love the good for her genre. I am absolutely the girl wins, and not in a final girl sort of way. So my favorite good for her is Midsummer. It is very controversial. You either love
Yes.
Midsummer or you hate Midsummer. There is no gray area there. But also, we talked about this before we started. Ready or Not.
Yes.
I have not seen the second one yet, but the first one of my favorite movies. It is a kind of horror light, so if you don't really love scary, but you're okay with blood, then I would suggest it. It was really good. It was very entertaining. It was like action-packed, and it is definitely a good for her. Like, she, at the end of that movie, I was like, absolutely, like, yeah, loved it.
The other one I was going to mention that you had seen, and this is not horror light, this is pure horror, is I looked up the synopsis for The Substance with Demi Moore.
Yes.
And there's a lot of parallels there of someone, starlet in the industry, growing so old that she's no longer be able to support herself with just her face and taking an illegal substance to look young again.
Young again, yep.
Except that one is adds some like Jekyll and Hyde elements where her personalities are like fighting each other.
And those transformation scenes are not hidden. It is very graphic. No.
I read the synopsis and went like, I
Everything.
don't think if I watch this movie, don't think I'd sleep a week. So I'm glad I just read the synopsis.
Well, if we're going by the time period, there's another one called Leech Women, which is also about an older woman who gets the secret to life. But there are some questionable portrayals of Africa. But in there, we get some Hollywood Africa and some real Africa spliced in. Although I gotta say, like the old woman at the beginning, she gets a good for her at the end, as well as the white woman who gets dragged on the safari with them. So there's some good for hers in that one, if you take into account the decade it was made.
I think you also mentioned,
but for modern ones, one of my favorite ones is Death Becomes Her. That's definitely
that is a good one.
The cult of youth driving people to insanity and misdeeds, and how pretty privilege can sometimes go to your head.
And we get to see Bruce Willis play the best impersonation of Rick Moranis.
Yes, he was so good as that little stumpy nebbish man with a mustache. He must have been so happy he didn't have to diet or work out for that.
Right?
Like, he deserved that.
Goldie Hawn.
Just on the concept of body horror, though, modern beauty practices today can be very dangerous, even the ones that have been done 1,000 times. You see it constantly with the advent of Mar-a-Lago face. But there's a reason a lot of those women have lazy eyes. It's because they got their eyes damaged in the surgery, allegedly. And,
allegedly.
There are still a lot of things that could go wrong with surgeries, with liposuction, with tucks and nips, with inserts, some of these practices that are not legal in this country, like Brazilian butt lifts. And it's starting to bleed into the men's section, too, with look maxing and stuff. People smashing their faces with hammers and taking harmful, untested peptides that could have anything in them. People injecting whatever into their face because they can't get the real stuff. Body horror is becoming more real these days, so it's not as far-fetched.
The idea of like taking wasps, something as dangerous as wasps, and injecting yourself sounds silly, and then you go, Botox is technically a toxin, and you're using it to paralyze certain parts of your face. So
I mean, if you see that Popeye guy, the guy who was injected stuff into his arms, like he would take wasps as that's a Tuesday.
Yeah.
And that's his light day.
I think we're gonna have to wrap it up. So thanks again so much. Again, where can we find your stuff?
Keeping It Creepy the Cherry and Cat we are currently on a hiatus. My podcast partner is out of the country, but we are still on Apple and Spotify. Listen to our old stuff, and we are also on TikTok. I'm trying to get back to posting stuff.
Fantastic. Well, look and follow you there.
That sounds great.
And DeMonica, you can join me at the first of the month, first Sunday of the month, doing our live stream for games. So
yep.
All right, thank you so much. Now back to our cooking segment.
First, you're going to want to set up your station with your baking sheet and your press first, because you're only got a few seconds to spare once you get to that part. Set your large pot of water on the stove on medium-high and bring it to a light boil. If you got a electric kettle, sometimes it's good to just top it off. The hot water is not actually part of the recipe, but it's great for cleaning up your pot in between batches. So it's really, really handy. All right, so we're going to add our 3 tablespoons of sugar. Got over medium-ish heat. right, so we're about at the 2-minute mark, and you'll see that there's a little bit of sweating, a little wetness and shininess around the edges. And that means we're going to just lower the heat just a little bit to about medium-low and start gently stirring it. Now, you don't want it to smoke, so when you start seeing steam or smoke rising from it, you want to lift your pot up slightly off the heat, continue to stir. After a few moments of that, you're going to layer it back down. So you're going to do that kind of raising and lowering the whole time. All right, so that's about the consistency you want. There's no severely large chunks, and we're about 4 minutes in, 4.5. And now we're going to add our baking soda and stir vigorously with the chopstick. Bring it over your baking sheet, pour the sugar mix onto the sheet, and you'll want to use a spatula to get all the melted bits. You want to avoid any chunky bits because they're going to ruin the texture. You're going to wait 10, 12 seconds, and then you're going to smash it flat with your pot. Just press it down gently for about 5 seconds. Lift your press, put your cookie cutter on it, make sure that you're using the sharp edge. Press it down for about 3 or 4 seconds. Put your cooking vessel and your cleaning utensils in your boiling water, scrape them off, get the little bits out. Once they're clean, give them a quick dry with a paper towel and repeat. And there we go. And that was good, but let's try some new twists. So the first one is I'm going to call my queen bee. I'm going to add a little shot of honey in there. It's about a teaspoon, tablespoon. Just mix it right in, right? And then I'm going to add a baking soda. And for the Wasp Woman, I'm going to add what I'm going to call my Queen Wasp variety. I've never tried this. We're going to try some hot honey in there. Again, another teaspoon, tablespoon. Let's see how it works. And there you have it. Dalgona. Whoa. Let's see how they taste. First, I'm going to try the traditional one, which is using this. First of all, let me see if I can punch out that shape without breaking it. You do it, Princeton. You can do it. Oh, I got a little of the front. So, pretty good. Pretty good. Not too shabby. Let's see how it tastes. Mmm. It's toffee. It's got this warm, wonderful, fluffy lightness to it. This airiness to it. Delightful. Now, I was trying to do a test batch before I made this, but I didn't have any baking soda. So I tried baking powder. Let me see how the two of them compare. I read some reports that the baking powder might make it taste more bitter, and it is a teeny bit. You can barely tell. It seems to be less fluffy though, so sorry, Dr. Price, I would recommend baking soda if you got it, but in a pinch, baking powder would work. Now, let's try our honey ones. Our first one, I made by just taking honey, squirting it straight into the pot. Oh ho ho! It's about the same texture, but I'd say that's a more complex flavor. You're getting more high and low with the honey. It's just hitting different types of sugariness, so it's not just one flat, one note. So I do like that. It definitely smacks of honey. If you give this to somebody, they're going to guess that's honey. Now, when I first put it in, I put the honey straight in the pot. It kind of fizzed like mad, and I assumed that was because I was putting lukewarm honey into hot sugar. So, as a test, I microwaved the honey for about 15 seconds and then added it in when I did the next batch. And I assumed it's not going to froth as much because it's all the same temperature. Wrong, it frothed 10 times more. And so I'm kind of excited to see what this one batch is. You'll see this really dark one is the one I made with the hot temperature honey. And I'm curious to see what the difference is. It's like extra sticky and extra brittle. I think getting this spaceship out is going to be probably impossible because it's so delicate. Oh yeah, it's super delicate. I recommend that. Either because it adds the honeyest, but adds this beautiful light caramel to it. It kind of melts in your mouth a little more. Also, if you're trying to rig a game, that'd be a great way of making it more difficult for kids. Sorry, kids. All right, and our last one. This is our hot chili honey. Let's see how that tastes. It's there, but it's a slow creep. Yeah, there he is at the very end. It's just this warmness in your mouth. Kind of like people, if you like cayenne in your hot chocolate, this is about the same level of heat. I kind of like that. I recommend, if you like adults who like spicy stuff, like cinnamon candies, that's about the level we're looking at. It kind of tastes like, if you didn't know this was peppers, you'd say, oh, that's like a cinnamon red hot Dalgona candy. That's really fun. Ooh. I think I created something new. That's fantastic. All right, and that's it for today. If there's any particular recipes that you want us to try, please let us know in the comments or send us an email at princetonvice@gmail.com. Till then, eat, drink, and be scary. For tomorrow, be dying.
If your monster's sad and bitter, or he's feeling like a quitter, see the Monster Sitter, Mr. Princeton Vice.